Okay, so the next brand that I started picking up was EHX, Electro Harmonix. And Electro Harmonix make a lot of pedals, maybe too many. But what I like about them is they're not very expensive, but at the same time they give you a lot of artistic and experimental sounds. But they also do the basic stuff very well, this is one of kind of their best basic pedals, which is the Soulfood Overdrive, and I've been told that this kind of mimics the Centaur a little bit and gives you that transparent overdrive, and I do agree, it does sound amazing. And for the price that you get, I don't know how much it costs right now, but maybe 50 bucks. You can't get a better overdrive pedal than this, in my opinion. The next EHX pedal that I picked up was, one of the more famous ones. I heard that Kurt Cobain used to use it. I didn't know. It's the small clone, the full size version. It is an analog chorus, very old school looking pedal with one control, one knob. So that's about it. You get the depth control here, the rate control, but you also get a depth switch, and this takes you from that subtle but lush chorus into more of a wobbly, almost vibrato-like sound. But it's definitely a good pedal. Sits well in the mix of your signal chain. It can go crazy, but it does subtle very well, and it's an analog chorus. You can't go wrong with that. The next EHX pedal I picked up was the B9. So this is fairly new. I picked this up maybe 2 years ago, and I do like to play a lot of psychedelic rock kind of music, and this does really give you a great organ sound with your guitar. Nothing can substitute an actual organ, but you know what? There are 9 different types of organ on here, and I think 3 of them are extremely usable. The rest are okay-ish, but overall it's a really good pedal. You do have the nice option of having your signal split for out, with the guitar and organ signals going into different outputs, so you can play around with your mix. It's got modulation, which is really important. Had they not added this, I would not have bought it, because the modulation is really what sells that organ sound after it's generated. So the way it's processed and modulated really does help the pedal sound good. There's also a click option, just so you can get that kind of clicky organ sound. I don't use it much, but it's a good option to have. This was the next EHX pedal that I got. It's the Lester K. Now, yeah, Lester K is meant more for the keyboard player, but I predominantly use it for guitars. I have used it a few times with keyboards, and it does have stereo ins and stereo outs. Now, the difference between this and the Lester G, the one that's meant for guitarists, is I think the compressor at the front end of the pedal, which I don't need as much. And it's also got drive, so you can drive the signal a little bit. Mimics, rotating speakers from back in the day. You can also drive them because they were an amp. And you got slow speeds and fast speeds. Now, when you put this in slow mode and just get that subtle kind of, modulation, nothing sounds as good as this. Honestly, it's just, they really knocked it out of the park with this one. Here you can see the controls, not too much, but enough to get amazing sounds out of it. Oh, and the interesting thing is you have the speed break here, which switches between the faster modulation and the slower one. But it does it in a very kind of organic and natural way, so it doesn't happen all of a sudden. It doesn't ruin your sound when you're playing. It sounds natural when you get the sound variation.